So again, good evening, good morning, guys. I'm Satish. A very quick introduction about me. I have close to 14, 15 years of experience in the software industry, spanning across various aspects of software engineering, from mainframe development, performance testing, performance engineering, product development, and product engineering. So I've been working across multiple aspects of your software engineering, and I've also been with Isha for the last 3+ years, taking various courses specifically on performance engineering, performance testing tool like K6, DevOps for performance, Linux for performance. So some of these are the courses which I've been taking it for the last 3 years for the corporate as well as for the batches like this. Okay. Now coming back to our this particular batch, the performance engineering, which is kind of a tailor made for the beginners and beginner to intermediate level. So before I go get into the session, right? I just want to know from you all guys, what is it your expectation from the course, right? When we say performance engineering, what do you mean? What do you think that you should learn? If you can just voice me out or put it in the chat, whatever that comes into your mind, right? It can be monitoring, it can be profiling, it can be database analysis, AWS report analysis, whatever it is, right? Whatever that comes into your mind when you say performance engineering or whatever you wanted to learn, if you can just voice out deep analysis. Okay.
Hi Satish, Noman this side. Uh, s-
Mhm.
yeah, I think performance engineering is more into doing some root cause analysis and digging deep into performance aspects, not only in terms of response times and all, but why that particular degradation has happened,
Mhm. Mhm.
and digging down into code level, like which method or which function is taking more time and why it's taking more time, like that.
Okay, great. Great. Okay. AppDynamics, AWR analysis.
So
Okay.
I'm Shiva Kumar here. So I hope this is
Hi.
totally regarding performance tool training. Mm, uh, this is am I correct?
No, this is not performance testing tool training.
Okay.
It is not for LoadRunner or Jmeter kind of a training. This is very specific to the performance engineering, right? We do a testing and we find out problems. So for the problem, what is the root cause? How do we do early performance engineering like profiling, client-side profiling, memory leak analysis, heap dump, thread dump, garbage collection analysis? All these are all going to be part of this training course. And if you're looking for JMeter or LoadRunner or any performance testing tool, there are other courses
Yeah.
available with Isha, which you can look into it.
Okay. To whom should I ask?
You can just drop a note to this group, or you can reach out to any of the admins in the group.
Fine, fine. That's fine. Thank you. Yeah, good.
No problem.
Yes, Satish, and as you mentioned in the course that you will teach the root cause analysis and heat up and dead dump. I would be also interested in to know about creating the dashboards on the Dynatrace and AppDynamics. Okay,
Mhm.
I would be interested in how to create the dashboards. And
Mhm.
if you have headers, in multi-dimensions, you go and find those, response times for particular, what we call, transactions, right? If you can, filter it out from the multi-dimensions. But, how do we find out the servers from those, for the legacy applications, you don't know what are the servers involved, okay? End-to-end systems been involved. So with that, headers, how can we find out what are the systems involved? And from that, how can we create a dashboard out of it? I would be also interested in knowing that as well.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. Good. Heap analysis, dump analysis. Good. Okay.
Suggesting optimization techniques.
Okay. Okay. Great. Very good. So, I presume that most of you are already into performance testing, right? And you might be doing some level of scripting execution using Jmeter or LoadRunner, or you might be doing some basic monitoring with the tools. And more from a project perspective, you do a scripting execution and provide the reports, and that is our a typical day in day out work when it comes to performance testing, right? Now, what we wanted to make you upskilled, or now if you're now in a place where you're doing all this thing whatever I mentioned in the left hand side, what we want you to become is with the course, once you attend the course, once you do some hands-on, right, you should be able to go and confidently say that in an interview or in a project. Okay, you're not going to become experts, right? I mean, any field you cannot become an expert in 1 month or 2 months. It has to be a journey. Okay, but at least once you follow the sessions, and post that, if you go on, at least do one time hands-on on whatever I do hands-on myself, then you should be able to go and tell that you know these things, right? Server-side profiling, both CPU and memory leak analysis, client-side profiling, heap dumps and thread dump analysis, analyzing the AWR report with respect to application level performance, the tools like JProfiler, JVisual, JConsole tools for monitoring a Java-based application, benchmarking and tuning your JVM, garbage collection analysis, and using APM tools like AppDynamics and Dynatrace for deep dive diagnostics, and using some of the open source tools like Grafana and Telegraph. And also, you should be some level of comfortness with respect to Linux monitoring. All these things, at least to a minimal level, you should be able to go on, say that you've learned and you have done the hands-on. Right? Nowhere we are going to go and say that I have experienced in performance engineering. That's not required, right? The way we want you to go and project yourself is you should be getting differentiated from the other performance testers. What we see in many organizations, even I've been part of the interview panel, and when we take people, right, there are a lot of people who comes and says that they know LoadRunner, they have done Jmeter scripting execution analysis, all these things. There are n number of resumes that comes in, right? But when somebody is going to come and say that they have done all this testing, plus they also, out of their own passion, they have learned all these things and they have done hands-on with some kind of a sample application, right? That is going to put them way ahead when you compare them with the other people. Okay, and that's what we want you guys to be doing when you go for an interview, right? We're not going to false claim that you have a 2-year experience, a 3-year experience. That's not required, right? Then I think then the expectation would also be high, and that's not we want to do, right? You can still do it, but minimal level is what I'm saying. Minimal level, you should be able to go and confidently go and say that I have learned, I haven't got any opportunity, because many of us, we won't get opportunity to do all these things even if you don't try out, right? So there's always going to be a gap between opportunity and experience, right? So you can go and say that there's no opportunity, but you have trained on these areas, you have added hands-on. That will definitely put yourself way ahead when compared to the others. Okay. So when it comes
So,
to testing,
sorry, Satish, actually. So, which you mean to say, personally, if I wanted to be a part of this performance engineer, I have to learn the tool thing also. Along with that, the performance engineering, if I learn, both gives me a very good bandwidth for me to grow higher level on my passion. This is what you mean
true,
to say, right? So
true, but it
nothing.
depends.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it depends actually, right? If you are, say, if you are a developer, okay, you're in development, or if you are an automation engineer with some 7 8 years of experience, if you're
Okay.
already a test lead, right?
Yeah.
Then going back and learning a testing tool like LoadRunner, learning a
Mm.
scripting, and then coming here doesn't make sense because you're already experienced. You know what is happening in the project. You know what is
Mm.
testing. You are
Mhm.
already a test lead. Then
Mm.
you can pretty much go into performance engineering. Okay, so
Okay. Mm.
testing and engineering are both are different aspect anyway. Okay, now
Okay.
that is one category. You're automation architect or a development person, or you're a test lead. Then
Mm.
performance testing, performance testing tool is not a prerequisite. Now, if you're
Okay.
totally new, right, you just have
Mm.
6 months of 1 year experience in manual testing,
Okay.
then your career path should be then you should learn performance testing tool and then come to the performance engineering. So it depends upon what is your current role and your skill set. So yeah, that's how it is. But again, from applicability perspective, if you guys have any doubts or whether it is right for you or not, we can connect anytime tomorrow during a daytime. I can probably try to guide you.
Okay. Okay. Surely I'll connect back to you so that I can get the exact idea of whatever I needed right now. Fine. This
Oh,
much is enough in this call. We can connect
sure,
back tomorrow. Thank you.
sure, perfect. Yeah. So performance engineering is going to be combination of couple of things, right? One is there are going to be aspect of testing. Somebody has to do a testing for you to analyze it, and then some level of programming. Again, we are not going to do any coding or any code changes or fixes. We are not going to do right away, right? But having a knowledge of a programming, right, Java or a Python, it is going to be a good to have, not a must to have at all, right? And then comes your networking administration. In current world, you should be comfortable enough to go and install tools, install libraries, restart servers, apply some configuration changes. All these networking administration you should get comfortable with. We cannot go and wait for somebody else to do some deployments or restarting. Again, it's not a mandatory, but definitely in today's world, I think these things are something you have to be having some level of comfortness in doing these activities. And then comes your system analysis, which will cover a lot of things that we are going to learn, right? So which means in this Venn diagram, programming, it's good to have. Testing is, again, you might be already knowing it, or if depending upon your other if you're depending upon your current role, this testing might be required or might not be required. System analysis is what is all about all these things, whatever you're going to learn, right? From reviewing your system architecture, recommending design level changes, that comes when you are going to have experience, right? I, as an experienced performance engineer, I can be part of the discussions where your business team is going to provide a requirement, your architect is going to come up with the design, and then when we analyze the design, when we look into the components, when we look into the flow of your control from one layer to another layer, we will be able to understand that whether this can be good or bad with respect to the response time SLAs. So a lot of these reviewing the system architecture and then suggesting the changes will be done by the experienced performance architects, but that is also going to be part of a system analysis activity, right? And then comes your all your profiling, right? As a performance engineer, one of the advantages, you will get into the project early, right? Along with the developers, you will work. Whereas testing, mostly you will get involved in scripting, maybe later in the life cycle, right? So as a performance engineer, you will get involved much early. You'll work along with the developer. As they develop an API, as they develop a UI functionality, you will do server-side profiling, memory leak analysis, client-side profiling. All these things are going to be part of your early performance engineering, which you are also going to learn, right? And then as part of a new application or benchmarking every 3 months, 6 months, we do JVM benchmarking. And then we used, it will involve deep monitoring and deep dive diagnostics using tools like AppDynamics or Dynatrace. And then you have to do a heap-dump, thread-dump, depending upon the problems you face during a load test, an endurance test, you go and do this heap and thread-dump analysis. You have to look into the your memory pattern, and then look into the GC pattern, and then suggest GC level tuning parameters, right? And then client-side performance engineering. analyzing the AWR reports. All these things will be part of your performance engineering, which will be part of the system analysis. Okay, not only for Java, it can be also for Python, it can be for Node.js. It can be any programming languages, any component in the architecture, right? And if you take today's architecture, you will definitely see Java, you will definitely see Python, to most of the to very common components in any enterprise architecture, right? But when it comes to learning, you cannot keep learning every other components, right? You cannot go to Node.js, you cannot go to your Python, you cannot go to .NET. So we'll pretty much focus on Java performance engineering, because that's a thing that will get questioned in the interview, and it's still lot relevant in any enterprise architecture. But we'll also touch upon Python, right? Python now with GenAI, with a lot of analytics, ML, machine learning, uh, data science and all, you will definitely have a Python layer in the downstream. So you need to know some of the basic of Python, how it is different from Java. How are we going to monitor? How are we going to find out the response time of various function in Python? So that also I'll cover, since that is something much demanded in nowadays. Okay, so all these things together is what we are going to learn, and this is how it is going to spread across the life cycle, right? Requirement, design, development, test, production, all the activity, whatever I said, is going to be spread across these life cycle. And one more thing, again, from a performance engineer, you're going to shift left and shift right also. You're going to get involved much early in the life cycle for doing all these code profiling, leak analysis, client side profiling, etc. during a development stage. And also in production, you will continuously will monitor. You will be part of the team who will create synthetic monitoring scripts, configuring it, getting a feedback from production. All these things are going to be part of the production level activity as well. Okay. Now, what I will do is, before I go into the topics, right? I'll just go with a couple of each topics what we are going to cover. Before that, the way we will do the sessions are, we are going to use some sample applications. Okay, we are going to build the application. We are going to deploy, and then there are going to be problems. We will analyze response time problems, memory problems, thread problems, and we'll go to the code and then see what is the problem and then fix it, which is not actually required in your projects. As a performance engineer, we'll not go and fix it. We'll provide observations, we'll provide the analysis, and developer will fix it. But since I also have a code for that application, I'll just go and say what went wrong, why the memory leak is there, why the response time is high, why the thread contention is there, why the thread is getting locked. I'll be able to show it from a code level also, so that you get some kind of a additional visibility on that. Okay, so we'll build, deploy, test, identify problems, fix it. Again, we'll go and deploy it, and then we'll test it. That's how we are going to do it. Okay. Now, for that, what I would need is, let me go to a couple of my applications. Python. One of the application what we will use is going to be the e-library application. Okay, all these things will be provided to you. You will have access to the Google Drive, from which you can download the Tomcat. You can download my application war file. You can deploy it yourself, and you can run it. All these things, whatever I do, you would be able to do it on yourself.
Satish, one more question I have. You can
Sure, sure.
So in the slide, if you go to fifth or fourth slide, so there is a information about performance testing and the points being mentioned. The fourth one, I hope. Yes. So here you have mentioned. So the fourth or fifth point here, experience in performance monitoring tool and APM tool like a Perform on J. There is something, right? So how actually we get this tool information here? Will it be end to end, or it's just to case basis while explaining the project? You're just showing it to us, or by by analyzing by going through your sessions and all. we will be able to do 100% on it, along with
Yeah,
our
yeah, yeah,
teaching and all.
yeah. See, so you're not going to become a tool expert, okay? Because we
Yeah.
don't want to you becoming a tool expert because tool changes, right? So
Okay.
for our problems, if I have a response time
Mm.
problem, I'll be using JProfiler, okay?
Oh, okay.
To for response time profiling. For a memory leak analysis, I'll be using JProfiler. So for the problem,
Mm,
we will
mm,
see how to use JProfiler, but something around JProfiler as well, how we can use it to the project, what are the prerequisites that is required for the JProfiler, how to install it, those things you'll get it. But it is not going to be a JProfiler based 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour session. No, it's not going to be. It is going to be
mhm.
focused on the response time problems, memory leak problems. For that, I'll be using JProfiler. Similarly, AppDynamics and Dynatrace also, there will be good comprehensive sessions on Dynatrace and AppDynamics, but it is not going to be say 10-hour session on AppDynamics or a 6-hour session on Dynatrace. No, it is going to be again using Dynatrace. What are all various activity you can do it, right? The from installing the one agent and then looking into the various aspect of Dynatrace, how to troubleshoot the response time problem, how to look into the your application level memory or heap or thread or GC. So how to analyze the architecture of your components in Dynatrace. So it will be more use case based rather than the tool based. But you will get a sufficient information. You cannot go and you cannot be you cannot be an expert on these tools, but it will be sufficient enough for you to go and use it in your project whenever there's a requirement for JProfiler or Dynatrace or AppDynamics.
Got it. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Sure. Okay, I just started the Tomcat, and then let me go to the. Okay, so this E library application will use it for our engineering activities. I think my database might be down, so we'll be using a MySQL database. This as well, I'll give it to you. You can download it from my drive, or you can download it from the internet. And also, the creating a database, creating tables, all I have done. So you don't need to do anything. You just need to st- uh, 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 start a couple of services, start a couple of scripts. Your database should be also set up very easily. So I have a separate recording for all these setup as well. So it should not be a complicated one at all. So by yourself, you should be able to go and install Tomcat, MySQL DB, and then you should be able to get your application installed in your machine itself. I'll guide you. I have enough information for you to do all these things by your own. I'll also show you how to do it, but I'm saying it's going to be simple. First of all, the mindset that you should have is you should get comfortable with all these activity. Okay, don't think that you cannot do it. It is all very very simple, straightforward. Once you start doing it, that's all you want, right? So don't think you're not a technical person, whether you will be able to do it or not. All these things just come out of that, and then have a very open mindset. Okay, what we'll also do is, to get started, I have a session on some of those coding principles. Our developer will go and develop our class is going to look like, our method is going to look like, our database connection will be happening in a code. How from a one class to another class will be called. All these things, basic things, we will go and do an hands-on in Eclipse. Again, we are not going to become a Java developer here, but you should you should be a black it should not be a black box for you, okay? Because as a tester, you go and talk to developers and then say that there's a problem with your transactions, there's a high response time with the transaction, or there's a high error rate. Now you're going to go and complain to the developer saying that there is a problem with your method, there is a memory leak in your object. So you're going to go and talk to them in their language. Now, with this just saying that there's a problem with the transaction, they most of the time they say that it's a problem with the test data, or it is a problem with your script. They will try to push it back. Right now, if you're going to go and talk about their classes or method or object, they will definitely, if you are not confident, they will just go and plainly reject it or give some counter, and then you won't be able to have a proper fruitful discussion. Okay, so to for you to get a confident while you're talking, it should not be a black box. You should know visually you should know, okay, this is what the application is going to look like. The application is going to have multiple packages, a package will have multiple classes, a class will have multiple methods. So that is what we will try to get an answer on in the earlier sessions, just from our performance engineering perspective. Okay. So once you log in, there are a couple of transactions like view librarian, add librarians, all these things are going to be there. So depending upon some of the performance problem, whatever you want to analyze, we'll go and use all these functionalities. Okay. You can also go and log in as a librarian login, and then there will be a add book, written book, view book, the library administration website. This one we will use it. Okay. And then okay, then I'll also be using a Python web services, because Python microservices will be a part of a downstream, right? Most of the time there will be a microservices written in Python. So I'll also have a I did some changes. I don't know whether it is going to start. Anyway, let me try. It's 8010. Yeah. So this is going to be, there will be a couple of Python services, REST services, which we will be using it for our, when it comes to Python based profiling. Okay, this is again, this also you'll be able to get it in your system deployed. Okay, and then so these are the two applications which we'll be using it for our profiling and all the engineering activity. And then obviously the AppDynamics and Dynatrace is something I'll be having a account. I'll also share it with you if you really need it, or you can also go and create your own trial account. Okay, both AppDynamics and Dynatrace, you would be able to create your account on your own. Just that I think it would need some non-Gmail IDs. Okay, some maybe your corporate IDs you can use it. If in case you won't be able to do it, I can provide my details of the account user ID and password so that you can use it during the those sessions. Okay, so both AppDynamics will have a cloud account, and Dynatrace also will have a cloud account. Okay, and again, other tools are going to be JProfiler, JVisual VM, JConsole. All these things, as and when it is required, we'll start using it. But all these things, either it is going to be open source. If it is commercial, you will have a trial account. That's how it is going to work. So, which means everything, whatever I teach, whatever I do answer in my laptop, you should be able to do it as well. Be it as Grafana, or be it as JProfiler, or whatever tools, you would be able to do an answer by yourself. Okay. Yeah. Now coming to our topics, right? And one more thing is, all these things are going to be available in the drive. Okay. This drive access, you will get it. So if there is a memory leak session, right, then the things that are required for the memory leak, like WAR files, you can download a memory issue WAR file. You can download a WAR file and then go and put it in your Tomcat. If you go to my Tomcat, I will tell you how to set up this Tomcat web apps, deploying WAR file and all. I'll explain it tomorrow. So you can go download the WAR file to here, and then you can rename it, and then you can go and start the your Tomcat server. So for every session, related drive, related folder or files will be there in the your Google Drive, which you will get an access. Okay.
Satish, I have one.
Yeah, please go ahead. Go ahead.
Do you cover database connection pool related also in this course?
Both thread pool and database connection pool, I'll cover it. Only thing is, my sample application doesn't have any connection pool with respect to database. Thread pool, yes, I have it. I'll be able to go and show thread contention, how to configure the thread pool and all. Database connection pool, I can conceptually, I will explain it, but not practically, because my application doesn't have maintain any database connection pool as such. But I can show you where to monitor the database connection pool and the concept behind that. That I will explain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Satish. Thank you.
Sure. So this access, you'll get it once whenever you're going to register and make a payment, you'll get an access to this drive. Now, coming back to our topics, right? You might have already seen the topics in the website, but I'll still just go over very quickly. As I mentioned, we will start with the Java basics and JVM basics. Intention here is for you to get comfortable with the concepts and also the hands-on programming using in Eclipse using Java. We'll go and write some sample programs, compile it, run it, look into the structure of the any Java application, how it is going to look like, multiple packages, multiple classes, multiple methods. The objective here is before we go into the engineering topics, the things, the terms like class or method should not be a black box. It should make a meaning for you, and you should know how it is going to look like and how a developer is going to create those as well. We'll start with those concept and basic sessions, and then using a library application, we'll get on to the early performance engineering. Okay, so in any project, you will, as I said, right, the first thing what you will do is you will get involved as a performance engineer. Whenever a new functionality is getting developed or deployed, you will take that, and then using single user, you will go and do analysis and then find out the response time. If a response time is high, you will go and do analysis, you go and do a CPU profiling, and you will look into the memory pattern. If the memory pattern is bad, you go and do a memory leak analysis. All these things is what a typical early performance engineering are. Okay, so we'll start learning from that way, because we wanted you to think that you as a performance engineer going to work in a project, what are all things you're going to do it. That's how we'll start these sessions as well. Okay, so responsive analysis, and the tools like JProfiler, access logs, Chrome developer tools, all these things we will use it. Okay, so for a login, for a view librarian, for those kind of transactions, we'll go and do a CPU profiling or response time profiling. Okay, and then before we go and look into for the same functionality, we'll go and look into the memory pattern, do memory leak analysis. But before that, we'll again get some concepts. Every hands-on will be followed by a concepts or theoretical as well, right? So we'll go and try to learn what are the Java heap, what is Java stack, how it is both are interconnected, why the relationship is important. We'll go and practically look into some of the stack overflow error. Okay, and then we'll go into the memory leak analysis. Again, we'll use a tool like JProfiler and JConsole for memory monitoring and memory leak analysis. Okay, and then like from a memory perspective, your single user leak analysis is more from a early performance engineering. But when you get into a load test or an endurance test, right, you cannot do a live profiling. There you have to take a dump. So we'll go and learn about heap dump. What are the memory pattern we have to observe during an endurance test? When we'll take a heap dump? How many heap dumps we'll take it? How to analyze a heap dump? What are the tools available? Eclipse mat. We'll analyze the heap dump using Eclipse mat. We'll find out the root cause, and then we'll see how to fix it as well. Okay, so similarly for garbage collection analysis, right? So this heap dump memory leak garbage collection is going to be easily close to some 5-6 hours continuous sessions, very much focused on your heap and memory and garbage collection. In GC as well, we'll try to learn what are the various GC components, what happened in GC, what is compacting, why compacting is important, what are the various GC collectors, what are the how do you monitor GC, major GC, minor GC, what are the various tuning flags with respect to your garbage collection. All these things comprehensively we will learn. Okay, see, when it comes to system performance, right, any system performance, it will come down to CPU, it will come down to memory, right? The reason is any host, be it a laptop or any machines, right? it is going to be bounded by a CPU and memory. Specification for any host is going to be you have a 8 GB RAM and then 8 core CPU, right? So, and we have to optimally use it because there is no infinite CPU, infinite memory. We have to optimally use the CPU and memory. And that's a reason we always go and do a CPU profiling or memory profiling. So to optimize the performance. So response time analysis followed by the memory leak analysis. And then the other aspect is going to be a thread. Okay, because your requests are going to be handled through your thread pool. Thread is going to be more of a task handler. So obviously we have to go and learn about Java threads. What are the various thread contentions? How to configure the minimum thread and maximum threads? What are the uh, uh, various states of your Java threads? And then what is the deadlock? What is the thread? Why the thread is getting logged? How do we go and take thread dump? Why do we take a thread dump? When to take a thread dump? What is the frequency of taking a thread dump? And then analyzing it and to find the root cause. All these things we will learn from a thread and thread contention and thread dump. Okay. Now, whatever we have seen so far, it is more from a server side, right? But equally important is going to be a client-side performance engineering because as an end user, your experience is very important. So analyzing your client-side attributes like your page size, number of requests, time to first byte, and then also as a performance engineer, you have to see what are the various optimization you can do from a client side. Okay, so comprehensive session on client-side profiling, client-side optimization also will learn. We'll move forward then to something called architecture and monitoring strategy. Similar to your performance strategy, you should also have a monitoring strategy. Okay, see, we do spend a lot of time in scripting, execution for what? To identify problems, right? For identifying a problem, you should have proper monitoring tools, not only for one component, for all the components in your architecture. So in the monitoring strategy, you look into the architecture, how to look into the architecture, the various components involved, technology involved, server involved, and then we have to come up with a monitoring strategy. So we'll go and learn how do we approach this. And then from a monitoring perspective, you're going to have these series of sessions, right? From an infra perspective, we'll go and learn something called Telegraph, Inflex, and Grafana, very popular automated tools when it comes to your infra level monitoring. And then from an APM, we'll go and learn AppDynamics and Dynatrace. And then from a database monitoring, we will go and learn database concepts, your memory architecture, SGA, PGA, caching efficiency, your parsing efficiency, soft parsing, hard parsing. What are the various things that you will look into the AWS report from an application performance perspective? How do you take your AWS snapshots? When you do a load testing or endurance testing, when do you want to take a snapshot? How to analyze AWS report and all? We'll more from a database monitoring perspective, we'll learn. Okay. After learning all these things, then we'll go into your non-functional requirements and engineering strategy. Okay, in agile project, how do you do this performance testing and engineering in a sprint, in a release? What are various non-functional requirement as a performance engineer? You have to look into it. It's just not response time SLA, just not critical transactions, right? As a performance engineer, you have to look into that NFR in a totally different way. So we'll go and learn the non-functional requirement as well. Okay. Then a couple of videos will be given to you once you register and make a payment. These sessions are important, but not directly related to performance engineering. So my own videos, which I have taken it earlier, will be available for you. Introduction to DevOps for performance testing, synthetic monitoring using Dynatrace. That's more from a SRE perspective, synthetic monitoring video. And then from a future readiness perspective, then you will have these sessions live, right? The Python apps, basics of Python, how the Python architecture will look like, how a Python program will look like, how do you uh, uh, create some Python programs, how do you profile the Python program to get a response time split up, and also monitoring the Python functions in APM tool. So we'll have a very good session on introduction to Python. And then cloud as well, right? Cloud is very again not a new thing, but cloud performance is equally important. How different it is going to be when it comes to performance engineering. What is going to be different? What are the additional scenarios you're going to consider? The resiliency, auto scaling, chaos, all these terminologies from an introduction to cloud performance we'll go and learn. Okay, and again, the words like Kubernetes, nodes, pods, containers, all these things might be a little bit confusing for you. Though the underlying application is still the same. It can be hosted in container, it can be hosted in a Kubernetes cluster, it can be hosted in AWS EC2 instances. So we'll try to understand these terminologies, architecture, what you will do from a monitoring perspective, how your engineering is not going to change. Your testing, scripting, execution, engineering is not going to change a lot at all. Though application is going to get installed in EC2 instance, or if it is going to be there in a container, or it is going to be in a Kubernetes cluster, it's not going to change at all. We'll try to understand that as well. Okay. And again, from a bonus topic perspective, you'll get a recorded video of Splunk. You'll get my own 8 hours video recording of Linux for performance testing. Which is actually equally important, right? Because you're going to work on a Linux environment. Mostly your application servers are going to be Linux. Your load generators are going to be Linux. So you should know how to use a Linux machine, how to install a few components, how to access the various libraries in Linux, various command line programs for your getting your performance metrics. So you will also get an access to the Linux for Performance Tester 8-hour video, which is recorded by me. And then automated performance for your client side using Selenium is also will get a recorded video. So all the recorded video are meant for getting you additional knowledge, which are not directly engineering, but somewhat related to your performance testing or engineering. Okay, so yeah, that's a very quick view of the various topics that we are going to learn. And the sessions are going to be between 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. IST. Okay. Any questions with respect to payment registration, you can reach out to Kumar sir. And any questions related to the topics or whether it is applicable or not, if you want to discuss, you can reach out to me. I'll send a message in the WhatsApp group, my name and my number. You can reach out to me tomorrow as well during daytime. Okay, I'll take a pass here, guys. Anybody have any questions on the topics or anything that I have covered today? Please feel free to put it in the chat, or you can voice over and ask the question as well.
Hi Satish. Like,
Yeah.
suppose if we are not able to attend this 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. class, because actually daily it's 8 to 9 p.m. right? This session, if we enroll for it.
It is going to be Monday to Friday, 8 p.m., 9 p.m. IST. You're right. Yeah.
Okay. But it will like coincide with our work timings actually.
Okay,
Like
okay.
that is a problem. So what, like how we can cover this if we are not able to attend?
See, okay, there are two things. One, if you think that you can make it on some days, you cannot make it on some days, then you will get a recorded video the next day itself. Okay, and morning around 10 a.m. you'll get it. That is one way of doing it. Second, if you guys prefer 9 p.m. to 10 p.m., many of you prefer 9 p.m. to 10 p.m., we can also move this by 1 hour. Okay, both are 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. or 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. I mean, I think we can decide based on majority of people's availability. But if you think that you'll be able to make it, maybe 1 or 2 days you won't be able to make it, then I think you can cover it up by looking into the videos, and you can ask questions when you come back. So yeah, these are the options available.
Okay. I think for me 9 to 10 is seems good. I don't know about others.
I'll check with others. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure, no problem. Yeah.
Yeah, hi Satish, this side. Yeah, 9 to 10 will work for me as well. And I just need to ask, like, what is the duration for this course? Like, for how many days?
Normally, normally it will go over some 22, 23, 24, 25, somewhere around 22 to 25 hours sessions. So which means you can expect close to 4 to 5 weeks.
4 to 5 weeks in a month, like. Approx a month.
Yes, across. Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi Satish. And regarding the Splunk videos which you mentioned, the bonus topic, does it cover the querying part as well, or and the dashboard creation, or is it like the basic details?
No, it will be, I think, if I'm not wrong, it will be close to 6 to 8 hours minimum, and it will cover both the querying and dashboard as well. But again, Splunk is not intended for this engineering session. But since many of people ask Splunk, we are giving that recorded video. But I'll confirm you. But sure, it will have both query and dashboard.
Okay, because there is a different session already, I think, where we can get the Splunk recorded videos in the Isha.
Yes,
So I'm just checking
it's the
if
same
both are
thing.
same or.
Both are same. Yeah, both are same only. Yes, both are same. This year we are giving it along with the session. Separately also, it will be available for purchase.
Okay,
Both are
but
same,
both
but
are same, right? Okay.
yes, both are same only.
Okay, thank you.
Satish, are you going to cover means how we can integrate Jmeters with AppDynamics and other the integration parts in this course?
Uh, no, it is not planned. But if you guys need that, I can probably provide you some sample Jmeter script with the integration point that I can try to get it. But it is not part of the original plan because it's not a tool based topics. But I can share you that information or probably get some integration done during the course, which I will not be able to commit it, but I will try to do that if you guys require that.
Okay. Means, do you have any other courses which covers this integration part?
Specifically, maybe Jmeter course might have it. See, it is matter of just adding those Dynatrace headers into the Jmeter script or LoadRunner script, through which your Dynatrace can identify the request coming from your specific tool, and then you'll be able to go and look into the pure path, right? So it is a matter of few things which you can learn. It is not going to be a you don't need a separate course for that. I can try to give that information to you. That should not be a problem. Hardly 30 minutes, 45 minutes of work to get that integration done. So I'll try to get you that if required.
Okay.
How can we reach
And
out to this Kumar Gupta? Sorry.
See, if you are there in a WhatsApp group, all the admins will be able to help out for the payments. Okay.
Okay.
There are some 6 or 7 admins. You can reach out to any of them, or just post a message in the group itself. They will reach out to you.
Thank you.
okay, regarding the payment also, we have to speak with Kumar.
Yeah, you can speak to Kumar sir or any of the admins. Yes. You can talk to them directly.
Okay. And suppose if you want to explore something more on AppDynamics in depth, then where we can learn. Uh,
That's okay. If you wanted to go very deep dive into AppDynamics and then you wanted to learn, um,
mm,
there are courses available very much focusing only on AppDynamics, nothing else. Okay. So you can get those videos as well if you want. You can purchase it from Isha. That's an option for you. If it is very
okay.
focused, specific video on tool.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, what topics would you cover, when you are showing, about the Dynatrace and AppDynamics? What topics that you're going to cover as part of that tool?
Pretty much, I will show you. Yeah. See, if you take any APM tool, right, be it as New Relic or Datadog, right, all these things is what you will be typically using the tool for, right? You need APM tool for looking into all the business transactions and the corresponding response time. Whatever you see in Jmeter or LoadRunner is at the tool level, right? But what is happening within the server for the same login, search, add record, you should know what is the response time taken at the server side. So we will going to we will be using the both AppDynamics and Dynatrace to go and monitor the server side response time for these transactions. And then if the response time is high, you should be able to do a diagnostics why the response time is high, right? Both Dynatrace and AppDynamics will collect samples. You will have your traces through which you will be able to go and look into it, and then identify the methods or classes or queries or third-party calls which are taking more time. You will be able to get it. So that is the number one. You will learn it. Second, your technology level monitoring, be it as a JVM or a Python or whatever technology. The technology level monitoring will be there in both the tools. So heap, your thread, garbage collection related metrics, your heap growth, heap pattern, your thread utilization, your major GC, minor GC, GC time, all these things you'll be able to monitor it using AppDynamics or Dynatrace. And then database related SQLs, the response time of the database calls, or it can be a call going to a MongoDB query time, right? So all these things as well, we will learn it, we will look into it in both in AppDynamics and Dynatrace. And then
Okay.
Equally with the third party calls, alerts, events, taking heap dumps. So these are the typical usage of APM tool, and we'll learn all these things in both AppDynamics and Dynatrace.
Are you going to provide the solutions also? Means if something happens in JVM level, how to fix it?
Yeah, see, right from beginning, when we say there's a response time problem, we'll go and see why the response time is high, and then we'll try to find out which class with method is having high response time. Okay, so that is a root cause. That is a root cause analysis, right? That is actually that is what we will do it in a real project. In a real project, we'll not go to that method and then go to that line, say that go and change this. That code level recommendation, we will not give it in most of the places because we are not going to be a Java expert, or we are not going to be a .NET expert or a Python expert. Okay. And in sometimes, I mean, unless otherwise you're going to be there in the same project, same application for 3 years, 5 years, then you can go and give a code level recommendation also. Okay. But here, since I have a code with me, I can definitely I'll go to the code and then say that, okay, there's a memory leak because this object is declared like this. This is not fleshed out properly. There is a thread locking because there is a synchronization problem. The code is written in such a way that it is creating the problem. So I can go and explain to the code also. I will explain that to the code level also what to fix it, but it is not expected in the projects. Nowhere we'll go and say that you need to go and change the code. This is a code which is causing a problem. That is not required. But in our training sessions, I'll go to wherever applicable, I'll go to the code and say that this thread issue or this response time issue or this memory leak issue is happening because of this code. That I will tell you.
Okay.
Satish, for this G drive resources and the recordings, will it be accessible for the lifetime for us, or will it be accessible
Yes.
just for the span of this course?
No. It is the drive access. You will have it permanently, and then the recorded videos will be uploaded to a YouTube private playlist. And again, that also is going to be it is permanent only. There is no expiry as such.
Okay, and YouTube it will be a private playlist, right?
Yes, it is going to be a private channel.
And are you be able to cover anything related to SAP or Salesforce or ERP level, maybe monitoring or engineering?
No, not something. It is part of the topics. If you have specific questions, you can always ask. If I know, I can answer, but it is not going to be part of the course.
Okay, all right, thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
Satish, we can cover database SQL and everything here. Otherwise, we need to database SQL part.
No, the SQL tuning, right? SQL.
Yes.
Yeah, SQL tuning is not part of the course. Yeah, that is not. It is part of the advanced performance engineering, which is going to come up shortly, but it is not going to be part of this session. But if you want some basic thing about how to tune the SQL or what are the best practices that you have to do it, I can probably
Most of the interview question. Yeah, now most of the clients interview question they expected database tuning and database SQL code.
Yeah, that level.
If you
That
provide
level of
30 days
that.
also, it's
Yes.
helpful for us, Satish.
Yeah. That level I'll give it. Yes, I understand.
Any help related to interview preparation?
Yes, we do have it. So I'll go over the interview questions that are generally asked about the performance issue, performance bottlenecks, and all. We'll have that a couple of session on that, and post that. If you guys, anybody have any specific thing that you have to discuss, we can have a one-on-one as well. But yes, we will have a interview questions session in between once, and then at the end as well to go over the interview questions. You can also ask questions. Maybe you would have attended so many interview. If you wanted to discuss on the questions, you can do it. I already have some questions with me. I can also go over that. Yes, we'll do that.
Okay, thank you.
Satish, for Python and Java, you will be providing the videos, because I can see
You
in that.
Yeah. See, if you want to learn Java, if you want to learn Python, yes, there are courses available for which the recorded videos will be given to you. Okay, that is not taken by me. It is
Okay,
taken by the some other Python experts and Java experts. That
okay,
video you will get it once you
okay,
register, right? After a day or two, you get all these recordings.
okay. So like we will be getting access for this Isha portal, right? So it will be a lifetime access or what?
Which Isha portal?
Like for example, if we enroll, right, where the videos will be given and all.
Yes,
So
yes, yes, yes.
okay,
It's not a Isha portal. It's a YouTube playlist.
okay, it's a YouTube. Okay, okay, fine, fine.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, good. Fine, guys. We'll
Just
stop.
Satish.
Yeah, go ahead. Please go ahead.
Hi,
Go ahead.
Satish. Yeah. Just one thing, like suppose in case if I miss any session due to like my meetings and anything. So like in the sessions were only Monday to Friday and we have any doubt. So is there any doubt class or something we can go and how we can reach out to you if you have any doubt?
What we can do is we can probably agree upon a day in the weekday itself, and then we can have a clarification session in between. Okay, that we can do it. And if there are so answer your
On a
question, yes,
Tuesday
we
or
can
on a
definitely have it
week?
in the weekday itself. Any of the in between, right? In the weekday itself, we can probably dedicate some 30 minutes initially for a clarification, or entire day for a clarification also.
Mhm.
Saturday, I usually keep
Okay.
Saturday for a compensation. Usually, say if there is a holiday like May 1 or whatever it is, or in case if I couldn't able to make it, I'll inform you well ahead. If anything personal emergency or something, I'll inform you. And Saturday, use it for a compensation mostly. Okay, so which means to answer question, clarification, we will have it definitely. We can probably have it in the weekday itself. Fine, guys. If you guys still have any other questions or clarification, you can probably reach out to me. Okay, I'll ping my name and number. Anything that are related to the payment and registration, you can reach out to Kumar sir or the other admins in the WhatsApp group. Okay. Otherwise, we'll meet tomorrow, guys, at the same time. Okay. And that the timing of 8 p.m. or 9 p.m., you guys just let me know. I'll probably have a poll created and you can inform what time you need and we can decide. I think both are okay. If it is 9 p.m. is what you guys want, we can move it to 9 p.m.
I think I'm okay with the 9 p.m. because at least before 9 p.m. I can wind up my business calls and everything.
Sure, sure.
Usually,
We'll decide. Not a problem at all. Yeah.
yeah. Let's cement.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. We'll stop it and then we'll meet tomorrow. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Bye bye.
Thank you.